Oh yeah!
Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. We're back! Today we're going to revisit the first major park that I built, the Viking Park. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with that, and then potentially start a new one, or at least I'll talk about my plans for a new one. But let's go ahead and jump in. July 15th, yeah, that's how long ago it was. Okay. Haven't touched that park since. It's been so long since I've done anything with this one. Oh, we built a train station. I actually forgot that I did that. Now here's the Intamin Stratocoaster. RMC, this was the first ever RMC that I built. This old launched B&M sit-down. We have a dive, an invert. This is, oh yeah, this is a floorless. And then we have this hypercoaster. Yep. Got a pool and a wave pool. Bumper cars. Yeah, so there's a lot to do with this park. There's a lot that we could do. The cool thing about this is, unlike the tropical one, we haven't run out of room. I mean, there's not a lot, but there definitely is some room to expand out toward the back here. So, I mean, we could definitely do something with this land out here. This over here. I'm honestly not sure if I want to keep this hyper. Probably, though. This could be a really good candidate for a rework. Yeah, but let's see what we can come up with, you know? Here, well, we've got a fair bit of stuff that's broken down. This isn't... Oh, well, now it is. Oh, the power generator had broken and somebody fixed it. Okay. Well, I clear all that out. I'm not worried about it. We'll get to it when we get to it, you know? One thing I didn't do with this park that I ended up doing with the tropical is setting all of those solar panels and power generators and everything together. Where they would be all in one place, and you have mechanics ready round the clock to work on anything that breaks. So this park does experience occasional power outages for rides and stuff, and I don't know, maybe we could do something about that at some point here. Boy, this was the first park, the first major park that I built. I started this back in January when I still had my old computer. And I guess it stood the test of time. We're only in day 13 as opposed to, what, 49 or 50 at the tropical one. And we have 2/3 the amount of stuff. So I think we can do a fair bit of work on it. Maria, welcome. This Viking park needs some snow on the ground. Snow is not an option, unfortunately. And I really wish it would be. Because like a Scandinavia Viking sort of theme, some snow would be really well suited, but, I don't know. I know Planet Coaster 1 did have, like, a snow biome. I don't know, maybe they'll bring that back for, this game in a future add-on or a DLC or something like that. I don't know. I kind of hope they do, because it would make my idea for a future park come more to life, or maybe have it seasonal or something like that. Oh no, so we should go to Alaska for some snow. Even in the summer. That's a Flight Sim reference for any of you that may not be aware. Okay. Let me just check on... So we have a really good park rating. The park is nearly full. Yes, they're happy. There's a fair bit of litter. Souvenir, well taken care of. Everybody's stats are looking really good. Litter and barf on the ground, we'll have to address that. Some people wish they had places to sit. We'll look at that. Let's take a look at our rides. We have 7 roller coasters right now. We might add 1 tonight. I think we should. We could add some flat rides. We have the transport. We don't have any real water rides. We have the mat slide. That's really about it. Plenty of restaurants. Burger Viking. I forgot we did that. Oh, that's right. That's right over here. Sponsored by Chief Beef. We have sushi and slushies by the pool. It's cool we put these billboards out front. Oh, that's a lot of... Holy cow, that's a lot of litter. Let's, This guy's, like, fast walking? Yeah. Oh, he was hurrying in to get a slushie. I think that was the most excited I've ever seen somebody to go buy a slushie. Let's take a look at our staff. I see, I barely remember what we've done here. Plenty of janitors, but there are some that probably... Any looking for work? Yeah, there's one. All the way across the park. Whoa, yeah, let's give you a ride. Teleport you almost to pick up some trash. Please, and thank you. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's check the heat maps and just see kind of how... Most of the litter's around the pool. There's a little over... Oh, uh-oh. I know what this is. Oh my gosh! We're gonna have to hire like a dedicated cleanup team for that. That's a biohazard. Huh. Yuck. Oh, there's a bit over there. It's not as bad. They almost made a vomit pool. Oh, gross! Oh, and they're not very happy about walking through it. We'll get that cleaned up. Oops. There's one. Let's put her over there. I don't want to move somebody too far if they were in the middle of something. Alright, that's been taken care of. That's good. Now there's a bit of trash around the pool. But it's weird because there are trash cans unless they were full. No. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they just emptied them out too. I didn't catch before. Excuse me. Go in the wave pool. Now there's these slides, which aren't really anything spectacular. We got this hypercoaster right here. Not accessible and staff cannot reach it? Oh, and it's broken. Oh. Well, it's also disconnected from everything. Well, I gotta find a place to set this and hook it up some. See, I kinda am leaning toward setting up a designated area. Because we just have a lot of low-powered generators and stuff. Go back to that. We could just delete that, honestly. How many mechanics do we have? Staff.
Oh.
Plenty of lifeguards. We have 8. Could probably add a couple. Oh, we did build... I forgot we built a station for this. That's kind of cool. Got the scrambler. This is the newest coaster that we have. We could probably add some scenery out over here. Got the RMC Double Lift Hill. This is one of the more popular coasters in the park. Let's look at ridership. 3,500. That one's 4,600. I think this is the most popular. That one at 190. Well, I think it was just recently rebuilt. 63, well, you know what, it always has a long line, but this isn't one of my better. This is the very first coaster in this park that I built. It's not great. 2200. That should be a lot higher for a hyper. And then we have the dive. That has 4900. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. The hyper needs a little bit of work. Yeah, this does have a second entrance. I'm thinking maybe we could add a flat ride or two. Give people something to do. We have that. The mecha roller, we have that over here. We have the teacups, and we have the boat. Oh, we have all 4 of these flat rides. Okay. I remember when I was a kid, I always loved these pirate swings. It's Queen Splash. So maybe what could we add? Thinking if we wanted to expand, we could go back out over this way, close to the water. There's definitely room for something over here. Just extend the path out this way. We also, with this park, really have not segmented it into areas. It's all kind of one thing. We could do one of these giant giant boomerangs. They're relatively easy. They're decent crowd pleasers. We already have a regular inverted coaster, but the question is, where would we want to place it? Oh, that's got a full train. That's good. For a long time, this ride was getting almost no attention. People are coming over. That's a good thing. Oh yeah, there's a wait. I mean, it's a station wait, but that's a good sign. Uh-oh, couple people got sick again. Look at, oh wow, take a look at that. The line is backing up onto the actual path. What's the wait time? 12 minutes. So I'm thinking if we... What if we set up a new area for the water park? If we wanted to add some stuff for that. Because it's just kind of in the middle of a bunch of stuff. Doesn't really make sense over here. If you put it closer to the water, then you have this nice view of the river, which I'd love to build outward and let people take advantage of, because that's absolutely beautiful scenery. A lot of open land to work with. That would free up some space over here for something. We have all of this space out here. And I think this coaster could probably be redone. Alright, let's start with some flat rides. These are actually really neat. We could put that over here. We'd have to... Now we could clear out a couple trees. Now let's do that. Tell you what. Let's go back in, grab that. Not a perfect Not a perfect circle, but close. Have it kind of come back along this way. Come out like that. Let's give it some colors. We'll have it spin the reverse for the last two. And let's change some colors. With a darker brown, maybe. And something maybe like a... yeah. That's cool. Yeah, you've got that up there. So we'll do the same thing. And then that's a gradient. Let's reverse that. Yeah. Let me change the color of the seats. Kind of not opposed to having these a little different. Gold, maybe a darker red. Now, what would be a good name for this? Scandinavian sun, maybe? I don't know. Not the most creative, but it'll work. Okay. This... does it need a distributor over here? Or is there just not enough power being generated for it? Yeah, there's not enough power. Okay. That means we're gonna have to probably go in and slap another solar panel somewhere. I guess we could line that up there. And let's run a power. Yeah, now it's got enough to open. That's the ride. Well, the interesting thing we'll have to see is, does it clear these trees, or do we have to get rid of them? Or the tree's gonna be in the way, or not. Oh yeah, that's in the way. Ah! Make that a little smaller. That one should be okay there. The other thing we could have done is just move the tree. Oh, wow, that actually goes higher than I thought it did. These are absolutely wild rides. Hey, Jimpers. Hey, I'm doing okay. How are you? You made a coaster you'd like me to check out. Awesome. Yeah, let me know. Bromik, welcome. Could call it Nordic Storm. I could do that. Since it kind of spins. I actually like that idea. I think I'd almost go with something like Cyclone. Alright, let me get that share code. Oops. 1Z3. Hey, Crowseekin, welcome. Oh, this one, yeah, that one did show up actually. On the top. Yeah, let me check it out. You might need to make a new park for it. Okay. Alright, yeah, let me go in a new park. We'll check the ride out. Okay. Oh, that's massive. Wow. Let's give it a ride. Oh. Oops, there we go. Okay. Oh, this is an Aero Hyper. I can tell that it's got the little windshield thing on it. There we go. It's like going up Steel Force in real life. That's cool, it passes right under the left hill. Very cool. Alright, and let's see how it did stat-wise. Nice, long, good speed. Good airtime. Go on the previous run. That was a really cool first drop. I can't think of any. Now, I'll say I'm not very familiar with aero hypers. The only one that I remember going on is Steel Force. And then I'm aware of Mamba and... what's the other one? Magnum? So, but I don't remember any of them. I know there are others out there. Steel Phantom's the other one. But I'm not really familiar with most of them, and I'm not aware of any that have that kind of curved drop at the beginning, so I think that's cool. Awesome airtime on that first hill. Steel Force isn't an aero hyper. DH Morgan. Duh. Wow. Morgan. The whole time I'm thinking of Morgan saying those. I just think of them because they're not like B&M or Intamin or any of those. They just, the first thing I think of is Arrow with those old ones. So that's my bad. The only Morgan hyper I've been on is Steel Force. I think it loses... So one thing I'm noticing, it definitely does lose a fair bit of momentum and pacing at the very end. I do like how you kind of have the... the turn back around and then the other turn to bring it into the brakes. There's a little bit of added track to get up to. Morgan just conveniently uses the same track design and relatively similar. Well, okay, that's probably where I was thinking of that. They seem like aero hypers. Yeah, very nice. I've actually never built one of these before. Could be something I'd try. Very well done. Okay. I'm gonna step away real quick. We'll come back and jump back into that pork. Jimpers, I have some stuff you may want to check out in there that you may want to mess around with or give me tips for improvement. Step away and I'll be right back. Okay. Jump back in there. I think Dragon 2000 in Japan is also a DH Morgan. A Morgan Giga, weirdly enough. Would love to go to Japan if just to ride the coaster, but also to see the country. Yeah, I've wanted to go to Japan for many years. Way before I was into parks and everything. They've got some really good stuff. Okay. So this park has 7 coasters. This is the first park, the first major park that I started working on. Way back in January, actually, when I first got the game. After just kind of playing around a little bit, I figured I'd start a full-fledged park, and this was the first one that I did. So you've got... This is a Stratocoaster, kind of like King Dakar. This is the first RMC I ever built. It's kind of all over the place. This is a B&M sit-down with a drive tire launch, invert, dive, floorless. That's the newest coaster. And then a B&M Hyper. You could call that swinging ride Maelstrom. I like that. Where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. I think we'll actually do that. I like that. It's still testing. Okay. Look at the line for that. This always has such a long line. In fact, what we might have to do is extend that out back over here or something. Then we have the Burger King, Burger Viking. Somebody suggested I do that. I don't remember who, but that was either June or early July, the last I'd worked on this park. Is it done testing? Just looks just about. We'll get ready to open it here. Go through and clear these out. Sounds like it. Oh, sounds like a dying cow when it slows down. All right, it is ready to open. Well, looks like somebody was about to get sick, but maybe not. Are you charging one price to get into the park or pay per ride? All the rides are free, so it's pay to enter the park, I think. Yeah. I didn't even build like a proper entrance or an entrance plaza or anything. That's how old this is. So Jimpers, let me know if there's anything you want to see. You may want to rework or suggest improvements or something. All the entertainers are stacked over here. You can hear that all the way over here. You have this giant observation tower. Nobody really... Well, there's a few people on it, okay. One thing that I wish is that these tower rides, like the observation tower, the drop towers and stuff like that, you could customize the ride height. Because they're all... They just come at the height, you know, specified. You can't change it. It would be kind of nice if you could adjust that. I'd be surprised if other people haven't requested that. And whether Frontier chooses to implement that, it may be difficult to do. Depending on how they have them like coded and stuff. But I think that would be a really good improvement to some of those rides. Because as it stands, this is the tallest thing in the park, and that just doesn't make a lot of sense when you have a stratocoaster. Or, this may not be true strata, but it's close. If that's not 400 feet, it's close. We have a lot of undeveloped land out this way. I definitely want to add some stuff and work out this way. I'd almost thought about the possibility of turning this around so that the peak is up over here. It'd be tough to do with nothing going over this way, but in the future that is something that I may consider doing. I really like this over here though. Like, this is, in my opinion, this is the prettiest of the four, like, just base sandbox parks. Not counting the career or challenge parks that you get added in, that you can use the land for. Just getting people to come out over this way toward the water, I think, would be really neat. Jimpers, if you're still around, I kind of want you to check out this, this hyper, and maybe you could give me some suggestions on how to improve it. I haven't done a POV of any of these in a while. Yeah, because that excitement is low. It should be higher for a ride as intense as this is. I'm thinking we may shut this down. Just people always think it's a long ride. What don't I like about it? I think it has a little too much filler track, and it gets kind of repetitive. This here is only, I think, the second hyper that I ever built. I'll do a POV with it. Well, yeah, let's just go from there, because it's... That's a weird transition, and this helix is just kind of crappy. Nice. You've got 4 real nice airtime hills, but then I think it kind of gets a bit repetitive. Trim that down in length to bump up the intensity. I like the tunnel part. Yeah, that tunnel part was actually pretty cool. But it feels like it meanders a little too much. Also, for a hyper of this degree, it just... I don't know why people really get on it. Don't get on it much. I mean, it has pretty low ridership compared to some of the other coasters in the park. Yeah, see that it drops off there. And then it loses momentum here. And, I mean, it's not bad through here, but then up at the top of this, I almost feel like maybe it should drop out of the tunnel instead of continuing up a little bit to cross over, because then it crosses back over here. And that's a really good part, because of the, you get that great view coming in. And then that kills it. And it just loses a bit of momentum here. Could you have a go at it? Yeah, absolutely. Let me... I don't think I have this ride saved as a blueprint. Let me do that. Yeah, no, I don't. Let me... let me get the share code. There you go. Have at it. Alright, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy it. Oh, look at that. Number of people getting sick over here again. Let's grab... See if I have any free janitors. Yeah.
Huh. Oh.
It kind of baffles me. I know this is the first thing in the park that people see when they come in, but this coaster isn't one of my best, but it is always just a jam-packed line. Ends up piling out onto the actual footpath. This was a fun dive. Could use a little work too, I think. All of these coasters could probably use some work. Except for this one being the newest, and this was built after I kind of learned some tricks for some of these. Can't get over the sound of that ride. Oh. Oh, people are getting mad because there's no attendant over here. Oh, and there's a ton of litter too. Ah. Yeah, let's take care of that. Let's hire a ride attendant, and let's hire a couple janitors, and let's buy a few, trash cans. Yeah, all these people are mad though because they're stuck on the ride. Oh, and the queue's almost cleared out because the attendant. We need to get somebody here as soon as possible.
Hello?
Come back. Come back here. There we go. That'll help when they get off of that. Overall, crowds are pretty happy. They're not thrilled on that. Well, some people all of a sudden just changed to happy because they're getting off the ride. Get that fixed. Tell you what we could do too is at some point we could clean all of this out, and what we should probably do is flip the exit and entrance. We could do an exit over here and bring the entrance back and let the queue form over here. Then we don't have to have this just miscellaneous stray path going nowhere. Probably should add railings to a lot of these. This is, I built most of this before I really knew everything that you could do in the game. A lot of it before I really truly knew what I was doing. Tell you what we'll do here. It's to prevent anybody else from coming over, we're gonna delete this piece of path right here. Not these, because that'll shut the ride down. Right, we'll close that off. And we'll just rebuild that when these people need to exit. Hold on, why are they all getting off the ride? Weird. Alright, tell you what. I'm gonna shut it down now. We're just gonna do this now. So what we'll do here... Excuse me. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Move exit. Back over to here. And we'll tie that in. Hey, Shem. What's going on? And then demo all of this. And then we'll click back on it. Move entrance. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, why is it not letting me move the entrance? Paths can't cross. It isn't crossing anything. Oh, maybe because of that. Let's try it. There we go. Yeah, it must have been because of that right there. Yeah, good enough. And open it back up. And we can delete the rest of this. Okay. Ride is old. People don't really care about it much, so it seems. Oh boy, that's gonna be a problem. We're gonna need a janitor on standby at this ride, like at all times. Let's go ahead and pick up another one. Dining table has been vandalized. Oh, really? Aha! I just saw him. Which one was it? It was both of the two of them. Well, they're a group. I saw her kick it. Out! And we got a janitor coming right over to fix that. That's good, at least. Fixed like... And I'm kind of curious what would happen. Paths are kind of crowded in some sections. I think we should widen them. Vandalized again? Oh no, okay, that just cleared out from the top. Okay. It is. Cluttered as can be over here. Is this ride broken down? Or... no, we just don't have an attendant. Why is it that there's always seeming to be a big shortage of... ride attendants? Let me hire somebody for that. Now please somebody come over here and get on this. He's across the park. we go. He's getting back on it. Good. Okay. Uh-oh. My stream drop? There needs to be some kind of elite specialist force to deal with vandalism specifically. Yeah, right. A bunch of them. I was about to say, did my stream drop? It looks like it must be working now, but... I saw a bunch of dropped frames, I'm not sure. What might have happened there? It was spinning for a moment. Yeah, it says I had 300 dropped frames, which, I guess the way that goes, that's probably 5 or 6 seconds worth of video. That sucks. Oh, it briefly, very briefly stuttered. Oh, okay. Alright, well, I'm glad it's not, like, an ongoing thing. Park looks very different to the last time I watched you, though. Oh, yeah, well, no, this is a totally different, Yeah, Shem, I think I said it before you got here, but this is the first major park that I've built. I did this back in January when I first started playing the game. The mythology and the tropical parks were all built after I got that pre-built computer back in June. But this is a holdover from when I first got the game. I'll probably play this for another 45 minutes or so, and then I might do some other stuff. So, but I'm thinking about starting a brand new park. So I'm kind of just running out of ideas with all the stuff that I already have. And when they're starting to get kind of fall and everything. But I have 2 ideas for brand new parks, and I kind of wanted to... Gonna open it up, actually. Paul? put together. Alright, got that open. And I'm kind of just putting feelers out to see what people might be interested in. But those were the two ideas that I had for something totally new, because I feel like maybe I'm starting to get a bit stagnant with these old parks, just because I've done a lot, and they have a lot of people, and I'm running, to a lesser extent with this. The Mythology Park is pretty unfinished, of course, but I've never really been able to get deep into that one. And then the Tropical Park, I mean, I've done that one for so long, and I've redone stuff, and both of those ideas are great. Oh man, I appreciate that. I talked about doing a new tropical park for quite a while, but the new idea that I had for like a northern wilderness sort of thing was a relatively new idea, really probably inspired by all of the flights that I do up there. And I said, what about a park just themed off of all of that? And I even have more ideas for that than I do for... Well, I don't know about that, actually. For like a new pirate kind of Polynesian. The cool thing about that one would be it's two very clearly defined areas, and you can kind of blend them a bit. And I have the perfect sandbox park for that. The kind of Yukon-themed one would be a little tougher, I think, to decide. But, I mean, this is the perfect biome for it. I'd probably end up having to go with just the scratch, the default. Hey, look, this park, I'm not losing $100,000 a day. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, is it because she couldn't get to her staff building? What's the pay? Change your mind? No. Alright, we'll mosey on out then. Try to hire a new ride attendant for her to replace her. Haha. These people missed their break too?
Yeah.
I guess we need to add new staff facilities. "15 rides had few guests using them." I have 15, I only have, unless you're counting the water slides. Well, let me see where my staff facilities are. Probably not as good as Jimper would have done, but the revised coaster is ready. I'll check it out in a minute. Go ahead and drop the share code. And so there's not a staff building. Oh, yeah. It's all the way over there. And then there's... I think there's one over here somewhere. Well, we should probably slap a few down. The thing about North America is you have within reason pretty much all the extremes of the Earth and the continent. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really a good point. I would say with Asia you do too, except Asia's much larger, so that's something to be expected. Let me drop a staff building now. Facility. Tell you what, let's do a scenery piece first. Oh, yeah. I'll work there. Is that lined up? Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, Bromik, I'm ready for that share code. Whenever you're ready, drop it. I'll go check it out. I think I already said that. Sorry if I repeated myself. Alright, staff facility. Custom. Medium. Add. Come on, don't stack. Auto stacking is off. You posted it? Oh, I didn't see it come through. Oh, I see it now. Okay, it's because my chat was set to top chat, not live, for whatever reason. Sorry about that. That's weird. That's the only message that hasn't come through. Weird. Alright, anyway. That's open, so we are good to go there. Let me go in and grab that. Save. I'm gonna drop it in a new park. Not top chat, I see where I rank. It's... No, but it's so weird because all of your messages, except for that one, have come through on the top chat for whatever reason. I don't understand why that one didn't. Like, got filtered out or something. For sure, any landmass that crosses the equator and covers any significant amounts of surface, you can get a bit of everything in terms of climates and geography. Or even gets close to it, but I would argue... I mean, take Africa. Africa's got a pretty good amount of land above and below the equator, but it's, for the most part, all pretty warm. Because it doesn't extend as far south as South America. South America is actually a really good example of that. Oh, that's it right there. Ah, don't even need the share code. This time it came up. I recognized it instantly. But yeah, I would honestly say that South America is probably a better example. Oh, you made 2 separate stations. Nice. Let's give it a go. Skip to the top of the lift hill. Oh! Very nice. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that. That excitement's higher. It's kind of what I was hoping for. And it's just got... I think it has less filler track, I think is the big thing about it. I know what I'm gonna do. You did fantastic with that. Very well done. Alright, so we're gonna continue in that park. And I think we are going to switch that coaster out. It probably takes up less land, too. The thing would be to try to fit it through that tunnel, or we could always modify the terrain afterwards. Just trimmed it down and smoothed a lot of the track. No, you still did a fantastic job with it. I mean, you did what I asked, and that was to make the ride better. So, very nice. Alright. Let me look at the poll. Oh, man! Look at that. So 2 people are voting for the northern theme, and 2 people voted both. I'm gonna close that. The tunnel should still work, I hope, if I fit it through the right way. Or, if it's just shorter in that portion, we may have to move the ride just up a little bit. Or, we can always just redo the terrain. So, I think the next park that I would start is definitely going to be one of those, well, it'll be that Yukon-themed park, I suppose. Now, the interesting thing is we won't really do Viking-themed stuff. What would we do? Probably Western? Let me look at that scenery real quick while I'm thinking about it. Fairy Tale? Because I think Fairy Tale has... I don't know. It sounds really ridiculous, but I think this actually has some stuff that could be well suited for that area. It has some stuff that could be well suited for here. You can't be serious. Ah, that's clever. Yeah, or the end of Storm Runner where you don't think you're going to stop, but then you do. Yeah, no, this did not have what I thought it did. Yeah. Maybe some of those. give it a more rustic sort of a town. I would say almost certainly the... Now, honestly... could potentially do some sort of pirate stuff there if we do an area. So, going back to, like, the Klondike Gold Rush, everybody would get off the boat in Skagway, or Dai. And those were kind of western towns, but you could possibly do some pirate stuff. But that's a stretch. That might be better saved for... Oh, yes. Oh, hands down. This would be pirate town. Or not pirate town, but... like a mining town. And then... do they have wooden... wood bat? Well, I'd like to try to build, like, log cabin sort of buildings. With some of this, if possible. But I think this would actually be the best suit. And we can always use the default Planet Coaster theme for stuff as well. Or any other themed pieces that might fit. If they could be customized. But yeah, I think we've got some decent options for that. That's why I hesitated a little with that idea. Is just, it probably would not be as native to what exists in the game right now, whereas the Polynesian and Pirate, you have everything related to those right there in the game already. Alright, tell you what, actually before delete, or close and delete that, what we can do is grab... Oh, would you look at that? That fits perfectly into place, keeping that. Bingo. The station stays. That's super easy. Problem is the ride is gaining popularity. Alright, send this train, and we're gonna shut the ride down. Just need to move the exit queue, no problem. Never ridden Stormrunner, but any Intamin hydraulic launch with a proper top hat I love. Stealth at Thorpe Park is one of my favorites. I've not been on Stormrunner either. It opened a couple years after the last time I went to Hershey. I would like to go back and ride it, but they have so much stuff that they didn't have the last time I was there. I mean, it was over 20 years ago. So in addition to Stormrunner, they obviously didn't have Fahrenheit, Skyrush, Candemonium, Wildcat's Revenge. I did not end up riding Wildcat, the original, while I was there. Because my mom and dad were like, no. They did not want to go on it, and I could not go on it by myself. I did do the Wild Mouse, didn't like it, but I was young. I probably would be okay with it now. We didn't do Lightning Racer. I did the Comet, did Super Duper Looper. I was too small to go on Great Bear, so I actually really would like to go get on that. I love B&M inverts. So I think I'd love that. Now, Coal Cracker, the log flume that weaves around Great Bear and Super Duper Looper and all of that, super fun ride. Pun not intended. And then Comet, old classic. I rode Wildcat when it first opened, then close to the end of its life. It definitely got too rough and was awful toward the end. Have not been on since the RMC refit. Yeah, I've heard Wildcat's Revenge is a top. A lot of people say it's top 5 RMC. For reference, the launch and top hat on Stealth is similar to Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm if I rode that. I've not been on it, but I'm familiar enough with Accelerator. I wonder how long they're going to keep that around. It's a popular ride. I mean, that was the... I guess you could say that was the prototype to Intamin's hydraulic. Before Top Thrill Dragster, the original, and then King Dakar, RIP, were built. I think Accelerator will stay around a bit longer. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. I'm sorry if you all can hear that. I hope you can't. Alright, now this can be deleted. And we can grab that, put that back in place. Uh-oh. You know what? We actually may need to stack the rides just to get them to line up. Too steep. Oh no. Alright, hold on. Well, at least now we know how to line it up, though, so we can get rid of this and... Oh, okay. Well... So that needs to go away. Maybe it's because of that right there. Huh. Alright, line up into place. Does it go... Yeah, that works. We can always modify that slightly. We'll have to do something with this over here. But at least it's in place. Just 1 sec. Okay. Had this discussion with other coaster fans in the States too. I think Intamin hydraulic launches are maintenance nightmares. Bench them, TNT and King Dakar, and having Zampala give TTD the makeover. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as bad with Accelerator because it's a little bit smaller. But of course they had an incident where I think it was a 12-year-old kid got hit by a cable or something like that. I think you mean Zamperla, right? Yeah. Oh, that actually, though, it fits perfectly in the footprint, except for this right here. And that's just a little easy terrain cleanup. We can fix that. I'm going to leave it closed for now, because we're going to redo the station. Not the station for the ride, but I mean all the pathing and everything. The cable snap, that's right. Kid got, a pretty serious cut on the leg. Glad it wasn't worse, because that stuff could be catastrophic. Alright, let's clean all of this up. Oh, we're gonna have to redo all of this too, I think. Fine. Now, Bromik, let me ask you, what do you think, unless it's carrying too much speed coming into here, what do you think about possibly moving the exit station back here out of the way? Or do you think they're better stacked like they are? Also, thank you for going from 10 trains, or 10 cars to 8. I don't know why I went with 10, initially. Did I see the kid walking around on the monorail track at Hershey Park? No! Wow! How in the world did he manage to get on it in the first place? And the other thing is, why would somebody be that stupid? Do what you think feels best. Let me run a test run on it, because I want to see how much speed it's carrying into the... The other thing I think we're going to do is we'll go in and modify some of the supports, because when I built this, I didn't tweak the supports, and it looks clunky with all of these supports on every single track section. Except for right here, somehow unless you redid that and didn't have all the supports, that looks better. That's the question, how is somebody that stupid to... Oh, sharpest knives in the drawer. Yeah, this looks great, though. Like, I thought when I built the ride over in the Stray Park just to check it out and test it, it seemed like it was a little bit smaller. But no, it's got the 4 hills. It lost this helix, which killed the original, honestly. And up here, too. But this ride fits in almost the exact same footprint as the original, which is phenomenal. Haven't seen any updates, but some stranger climbed up to rescue him. My question is, where were his parents? Well, that's the other thing, too. How in the world... first, how old was the kid? Oh, yeah, no, that still is carrying a good amount of speed coming in here. What we would probably do is have to extend a brake run and another. I'll leave it as it is, it's fine. What I may do is reverse the exit on. Oh, and it needs a staff gate too, I forgot about that. He looked about 8 to 10. Well, an 8 to 10-year-old probably should know better, but that comes down to parenting, too. 100%. What a great ride. We're gonna have to redo this plaza. I talked about moving these pools anyway. Alright, so tell you what, let me go in, and I may use this in another park, actually, because this is just such a great ride. Really, especially after the work did a phenomenal job again. And you know, it's funny because you had said, probably not as good as Jimpers could have done. I don't know. I mean, maybe he could do better. But maybe not. I mean, one thing, you kept it like very close to the original, which I really like. That one, my kid, he'd have been snagged before he went anywhere he shouldn't go and get one more chance before we left the park. Bingo! That's the answer right there. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna do something a little creative with the terrain here. We don't have to do it right now. But I wanted to get that cleared. Alright. Go into the ride here. And let's start cleaning up some of these supports. Oh, well, that's part of the problem, is because I did long sections for the chain lift. I think it looks okay with the doubles. track limits exceeded, it won't let me turn them off. Really? Yeah, this, you can tell how old this is because it was before I really understood, like, the 4-meter track piece rule. That's why there's so many of them all over the place. I'm not gonna fiddle with all that, honestly. Literally, the best thing about this game is the potential for doing what you stated about terrain and transferring rides. Yeah! I mean, you could do that back in the days of RCT. You could save a coaster and build it anywhere you wanted. Alright, one thing I think we'll have to do is move the entrance. I'm gonna move that staff. You know, the other thing, I could move it over here and then tie it into the exit, but... let me actually see. No, it cannot be. Could you possibly make that a blueprint so you could mess around with it? Absolutely. Romic did a fantastic job. Well, tell you what, instead of doing that, let me just copy the share code that he gave me, and you can go in and take it without me having to re-upload it. Jimpers, I'd actually really like to see you mess with, I'm not telling you don't mess with the B&M Hyper, but I'd actually really like to see what you can do with, perhaps... I don't know, this RMC is just all over the place. This was the very first one I ever built, and it's wonky. This is the second coaster in the park that I built, and it's got some weird, really weird transitions. I deleted it, but then it was so popular I reverted that, just left it in. But it's crammed into the middle of a bunch of stuff as I've expanded the park out. And then this dive. I don't know how I feel about the dive. I thought I did a good job, and it's not as exciting as I thought. If you want to see any POVs, let me know. You absolutely are free to mess with this. I'm really happy with how Bromic did. You mess around with any coaster in the park, really. Are there any you want to see? In particular? Tell me which one and I'll get it done. I'll give you between the three. If I had to choose one, or if I had to choose three, I would say the RMC, the dive. I know you said you're not very good at inverts. You're probably better than I am. All. We can do all. Alright, I'll start with this. This is the easiest one. I actually did a good job with this, I think. Oh. Yeah. Alright, so I'll do a run on this. This was, as you can tell, themed off of King Dakar. With a couple differences, it's got 3 airtime hills, not counting the top hat. A very gradual one over the front, then the top hat, then a very tall one. This is the one that I took inspiration from King Dakar. And then there's a third kind of narrow one that runs into the brakes, so it's not just a flat dead stop. Oh, that just sent. Whoops. I'll give you a run on that. It's got a really good excitement, though. This was before I built that hyper in the tropical park. This was the highest excitement rating that I'd got on a coaster. That's it. Now, I will say I'd thought in the future about reversing it to have the top hat back here. Because there are mountains over here, you could build this terrain up. But I wouldn't do that until, yeah, the stations would be over here, but I wouldn't do that until I've expanded further out this way. I'll give you a run on the RMC. I'll wait until one gets back in the station. This was the first RMC I did. I didn't really know how to do them at the time. I'm still not great at RMCs, but I'll come back to that. Let's do a dive, actually. You can take your shot at the invert? Yeah, well, I mean, I can cover that. Let's get on the dive real quick. Putting the base of the top hat through the mountain would be cool. I don't know. It might. Yeah, it actually looks like you could, because the park boundary looks higher up. So yeah, maybe that is possible. I could do that. Tell you what, let me switch that camera. Oh, not cinematic. There we go. Of course, I screwed it up right at the top. Then I made the second lift hill, which I'm not huge on. I suck at building them from scratch, but if I have a reference, I should be able to get it done. Okay. Yeah, there's that. Just kind of... It does kind of meander at the end a little bit. I know that probably doesn't need to be as long as it did end up. I'll show you the invert. This was the very first coaster in this park that I built. It was the very first ride in the park, I'm pretty sure. And I think to date this is the only invert I've built in this game. B&M invert, I should say. wonky transition right there. I didn't even realize I had that. It has big Montu vibes, yeah. It was themed. I would say I tried to build it like Montu. Because for me, Montu is the gold standard of B&M inverts. I mean, it's got a lot of the same elements. I mean, you've got the loop, the Immelman, the 0G, the Batwing. Running over the water reminds me of that awful invert at Carowinds. I hope you're not talking about Afterburn. That's really a good ride. I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But for me, Afterburn is an excellent B&M invert. It's like a mini Montu. Now, if you're talking about Kitty Hawk, the Vekoma family invert that goes over the water. Oh, Kitty Hawk is terrible. They call him Hang and Bang for a good reason. That was arguably. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I could say that Kitty Hawk is the worst coaster I've been on, but it's one of the worst. Tech Chariot, welcome, man. Good to see you. Did not like it. Also, I was in literal pain after Fury, so that ruined my... Ooh, man, that sucks. I'm curious how Fury hurt. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. I know there are some people that don't like Afterburn. Most that I've talked to do. That is a number 3 in the park for me. After Fury and Copperhead Strike is actually number 2. That's probably a little bit of a hot take. But every ride that I've had on Copperhead has been good at worst and just absolutely phenomenal, top tier at best. Intimidator, or what do they call it? Thunderstriker now. Not a great ride, in my opinion. It's really temperamental. I've had a few really good rides on it, and I've had a few really not fun rides. Could you possibly get the share code for the invert? Yeah. Tech, you missed it. I actually had a poll earlier. The next park I'm doing is going to be kind of a Alaska Yukon themed, keeping with we're keeping the Northwest going. If I get back to Carowinds, I would definitely give Afterburn a second chance, and definitely want to try Copperhead. It wasn't there when I was there. Yeah. It's been there since 2019, and I only got on it for the first time in April this year. Not trying to be biased here, but I think Behemoth is the best out of the 3 Pipers that opened in the Cedar Fair sale. Okay, well, Behemoth, Intimidator, what's the third? Diamondback? Okay, yeah, I've been to Kings Island and can say it's better than Diamondback, which is an extremely hot take. Ah, that is a hot take. But I've not been on those two. I would imagine they're both better than Intimidator, though. Oh, you know what? I uploaded that. Mila, stop scratching at the carpet. Sorry, cat came in and she just started ripping up the carpet. Is it the one at Canada's Wonderland? I think so. If I'm thinking of the right one, yes. And I've heard Behemoth is really good. I don't know about better than Diamondback. Oh, it is on here. I already uploaded it. Whoops. Let me get the share code. Or, no, I did not. I thought I did. Personally, I don't count Shambhala. No. I wouldn't count it either. Not in that case. But I've heard from some people that Shambhala is the best B&M Hyper. Short hair, Siamese, Maine Coon. I see what you did there. Very good, Jumpers. I'll let you see the RMC and the drive tire launch. I actually have this park uploaded to the workshop. You can get the park and check out all the rides. Obviously haven't made it out to Spain to ride. Yeah, no, PortAventura is actually a park. Like, if I go out of the US, to go to a park, that would be one of the top, not counting Canada's Wonderland. Because it's close enough. But yeah, to go overseas to go to a park, that is definitely one that I would really like to check out. PortAventura. Alright, this ride I think is getting ready to send. There it goes. Let me switch the view. No, I want to know what kind of cat you have or owns you. Oh, when I mentioned Mila. Okay. She's just a domestic short hair. Some of these transitions are kind of wonky. And now it goes right through a tree. That's a wonky. Yeah. I think I built this in January too, before I really knew what I was doing. Kind of short, basic, but this one, it was fun, and it's, for whatever reason, been a real crowd pleaser.
What?
And, oh yes, finally there's a train. Get on the arm, see? get a coaster together for your Yukon themed park. I'll share it with you when it's done. I may not be on much longer tonight. Oh yeah, that's fine. I actually do have some ideas for kind of what I want to do with that. I think after I do these POVs, I'm gonna end up calling it for PC2 tonight. Want to do a little flight sim stuff. I may do that off stream. But I might do another flight just because I had so much fun with the one earlier today. I haven't decided though. I might just get off the computer totally and do some other stuff. I gotta go back to work tomorrow morning, unfortunately. This music is interesting. It's kind of a cross for me between, I mean, I can obviously tell the Viking references and stuff, but it almost sounds like a cross between, like, Viking and Mongolian throat singing. Super long 0G stall. I forgot I did that. Kind of a weird end too, right there to it. Well, that's the RMC. The reason I called it Thor's 8 because it had 8 inversions. You've got the barrel roll at the beginning, and then you have the death roll a la Iron Gwazi. It reminds me of the kind of chant they would do to get crew to row old ships. Yeah, I think that's really what it is. What else do we have on here? Some meanders, long 0G stall, another death roll, and then you have 2 back-to-back barrel rolls, second lift hill, then you have the dive loop, and an even longer 0G stall. So it's kind of a wonky, and I don't think it flows. Maybe not too bad, but yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed the layout though. Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's a fun coaster for sure. It definitely just needs a little bit of work. Probably do away. It's got a lot of filler track, I think. And next time I work on this park, I'm gonna connect that. Get that all hooked up. Alright, I'm gonna save this, because I'm gonna kind of wrap it up for this game. Let me go to the main menu, and I'm gonna look at Sandbox, because I think I'd like to try to start that Yukon park. Sometime in the nearest future, like this week. So, obviously, the stock would be this right here, the biome. But if we go into career parks, let me see what the options are. That's a Mediterranean. That's the tropical Mediterranean. Ooh! Well, let me just look at these. Enjoy the rest of your night, all. Good night. Bromik, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. Yeah, great job on that coaster again, too. That was phenomenal. So this is similar. I almost feel like going over the Yukon River here, going through all of that, but I think the footprint's a little bit small. That's one downside about these. I mean, there are exceptions, but some of these parks, like from the career mode, I think are just a bit too small. Like, this one's not bad. You could make that work. I could open it up for a vote. What other options? We've got... Just look at that one. This is the one that I'm gonna do for the pirate theme. What is this? Oh, wow! That's actually a really good-sized, You know, we could do something like this, but the water just takes up a ton of... I think it would be a little too tricky, having to bridge that. Click the wrong button. We went down with those. That's a no right there. That one's got a really awkward configuration. That's too jagged. Yeah, so it would either come down to Fabled Fjord or we just go with the stock taiga biome. So tell you what, I'm just gonna jump in and look at the tropical park for a short time, and then I'm gonna call it an evening here. I'm gonna take a break. I might get on and do some flight sim. What did we do with this? That's right, we got this in place. Got it opened. It's pouring rain. And one thing I talked about was possibly building an indoor restaurant. I think this park, I think all of my parks actually really just need more areas that are under cover for when it rains, because then a lot of people get upset, and yeah, look at that, it tanks the park rating when it rains, because people get upset because they get wet. Unless they're in a pool, then they don't really care, because they're already drenched. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm probably just going to retire this park at some point. But I'm going to save the rides of blueprints, and we'll save them for a future tropical themed. So, some real good coasters here. I'd like to reconfigure this a little bit, but who knows? So, I get back out of that. I'm not even going to mess with it for 5 minutes. Alright, folks, I think I'm going to seal the deal here. It's been good to be back. thanks so much for tuning in. Should be back on tomorrow evening. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Flight Sim or this or both. But it's been fun. Good to catch you all. Appreciate everybody hanging out. And as always, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.